Bonjour à tous, c'est Speeders400, on prend un épisode sur Disco Elysium. Jamais essayé, j'espère pas que je vais faire de conneries depuis le début, hein. Attendez, je suis en train de voir un truc. J'étais en train de voir si vous m'entendez bien, mais oui, vous m'entendez bien. Nouvelle partie. Oh. Ah, mais sur des trucs là. Philosophe, extrêmement intelligent, mais désolé, mais pas doué pour les interactions sociales, possède une culture générale étendue et des idées originales, peu sensible. Femme psychologue et monstre de charisme doté d'une personnalité instable qui risque de le mener vers la folie. Le physique. Porté sur les prouesses physiques, ce personnage se sert de son corps pour interagir avec son environnement, efficace mais bête comme ses pieds. Oui. Voir ça. Personnaliser votre personnage. Mais combien de points? Ah ok. Remarquable, votre force cérébrale, vos capacités intellectuelles. On peut avoir tout à 3, ça paraît pas mal, je crois que c'est 5. Psyché, sensibilité, vos capacités émotionnelles, vigueur, votre musculature, vos capacités physiques, motoricité, vos 5 sens, vos capacités motrices. Ah, ça t'imagines, tu lances comme ça, horrible, après t'as faible, moyen, bon, remarquable, un peu augmenté, excellent, non, exceptionnel. Après tu mets un peu d'intelligence. Aléatoire. Non, en vrai, je sais pas quoi prendre, frère. Je pense que je vais prendre ça. Extrêmement intelligent, mais pas doué pour l'interaction sociale. Intelligent, voilà. C'est bien. C'est pas fait de conneries depuis le début. T'es passé, c'est pris la pire classe. Ce fond du miroir qui vive les furies. L'eau peut être bien. Non, bien être claire, profonde, elle te tuera. Le pire, c'est que le jeu, en tout, il y a 1 million de mots. Et je crois là, 500 000 des mots.
Only warm primordial blackness. Your conscious ferments in it, no larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever.
Les 500 000 mots, c'est dit par personne.
Never, ever.
Continue à ne pas exister. Non, jamais.
Never, ever, ever, baby.
C'est un reptilien.
An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it.
Tu vois cette histoire
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful, a ball of meat surrounding you. This is a terrible line of questioning, and it will only lead to more awareness of the meat thing.
Ex-love, ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you've suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Stay, Sail with me through the abyss of pelagic zone.
Vas-y, ne me laisse jamais partir. Non, je vais descendre maintenant. J'aime la douleur, la lumière brûlante, et je crève d'envie d'avoir ce que les gens... Non, d'avoir ce que les gens ne veulent pas me donner.
Do you really?
Ah, non, ah, je naviguais dans les ténèbres profondes pour l'éternité. Oui, laisse-moi descendre.
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion?
C'était limpide.
Or did you not sense yourself marinating? Poured so much on yourself. Got a bit carried away, did we, chef?
Miné, c'est moi qui me suis mis dans cet état-là. Non, dans cet état-là. Dis-moi ce qui m'attend, je m'en fous, je suis un imbécile courageux.
Yes.
Et oui,
Your
quitte le
one
discours.
disco mother.
Dis-moi ce qui m'attend.
There's this giant ball there. And evil apes. And the evil apes are juking it out on the ball. You're one of them. It's basically all just evil apes juking it out on a giant ball.
Elle est grosse comment cette
You
boule?
can't even make out it's a ball when you're joking it out. It's that large.
Elle est grosse comment
You
cette boule?
can't even make out it's a ball when you can't even make out it's a ball when you're joking it out. It's that large.
Ok, singe du champ petit.
Infinitesimally
Ouais,
small.
Non, infinitésimalement petit. Elle est grosse comment cette boule? En se bastonnant, non, j'arrête pas d'entendre parler. À quoi ça sert au juste?
Vying for resources is just a stupid expression you picked up somewhere. The part of the presentation you want to take home with you is this. You have to beat the other evil apes in the face, or you lose.
C'est triste. Je viens sur aller en
Somewhere in the sore, bloated man meat around you. A sensation. Like a fly to the ointment, your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up again. It wants to walk the desert, hurting, longing, dancing to disco music.
Mère, aide-moi, il y a une tête attachée à mon cou et je suis à l'intérieur. Non, j'ai changé d'avis, ramène-moi dans le vide des incarnés informes.
The stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache.
Secours, aidez-moi. Quelqu'un me coupe la tête, elle essaie de m'assassiner. Qui suis-je? Quel genre de créature est capable de faire ça à sa propre bouche?
A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound, a clarion call from hell.
Somehow, you know
Ah,
what
c'est
it
tout
is.
début.
A caprice to name a multiplier.
Intermédiaire, non, intermédiaire, ici. Regardez, je suis dans une partie. Au club, non? Mais un instant, il est comment? Le frère. Ah, je sais pas, il était nul. Alors, ça, en mode surveillance. Alors, les autres commandes, je ne sais pas. Oh. Tout prendre. Oui. Ah, on va pas quand même. Non. L'issue de truc, je ne sais pas, je connais pas le personnage. Ce magnum de Commodore rose et vide. Ce serviette verte pied gauche. C'est vrai que quelqu'un a rassé la cassette alors que l'ascension passait sur le magnétolecteur. Non, je veux qu'il est devant moi. Ce magnétolecteur fonctionne et tourne à vide.
This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades.
C'est mieux le crouton. Disons, c'est dire attraper la cravate. Si un lancer blanc, il peut être retenté. Ça me fait un truc.
You reach out to grab the tie. But
Mise
what's
en-
this? Diffuse, radiating chest pain.
Une ancienne.
Doom comes over you.
Une douleur fulgurante traverse ta poitrine.
This is bad.
Ah non!
Feels like sharp stones grinding in your chest and keeping you from moving. For quite a long time. Still ongoing. Now is a good time to start worrying. Finally, the pressure recedes. You find yourself covered in cold sweat and trying not to move. Hoping it. You know what you should do. You should stop the fan and then try again. It'll get easier. Do it if you want to die. The stabbing pain in your chest is telling you. You're hanging by a thread here.
Pour ce lancer blanc améliorer votre mise en scène grâce à des points de talent. Tirer sur le cordon à l'ampoule, ça va rien servir, c'est ça.
The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now.
Ça sert à quoi?
A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can practically feel the photons burning a hole in your brain. The lights are off.
Ah ouais, c'est simple.
You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. What you have in your hand is a truly hideous tie with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose. The switch must be broken because nothing happens. The air in the room is starting to feel like vaporized urine. A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off
Mais c'est lancé,
immediately.
mais comment ça se lance?
Your eyes burn with
De
photosensitivity.
l'or transcendé.
It's not good.
Putain, j'ai repris un dégât.
The
Allez,
lights
allez-moi.
are off again. The lights are on.
J'ai pris un dégât, frère, ça. Ah, putain. Ça c'est quoi? Ça pue le bouton à la con. Perçoit des bouteilles dans la meilleure du vin, de la bière et des liqueurs sucrées. Purin, on reparle pas du truc, hein.
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Was this not the same Eno that founds empires and lays waste to cities? Virile, uncaring towards the little things? Probably not, no. Hot water sprays from the faucet's base, and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just the vague impression of a man. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. Really, all recollection of the person you are, the people in your life, and even the world you're in has drowned in a sea of blood alcohol. This was no mere night of drinking. It was a deluge of world-ending proportions. Really, all recollection of the person as you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it.
me fait du mal et c'est comme ça. Je dois peut-être me toucher d'abord le visage pour m'assurer qu'il n'y a rien d'abnormal.
Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it.
Avec ma tronche, c'est un truc bizarre. Quoi, c'est quoi le problème avec mon
Where to
visage?
even begin? There is the bloatedness,
Défiguré.
then the swollenness. It's like there's an upholstery of alcohol underneath your skin. Bet you are. Your nose feels like a small balloon in the middle of your face. It hurts when you honk it. It doesn't appear to be a particularly tiny nose either. Not with all the drinks it's absorbed for you. It's not. It's swollen and snail-like, wriggling between your fingers.
C'est peur. Je veux que tout s'arrête, je vais le miroir maintenant.
Behold,
Ah, il est beau gosse. Ah, il est bien. Compte le
you
résultat.
have no idea who this thing is, do you?
C'est le visage d'un alcoolique en face terminale. En vrai, le visage, il est bien. Bon, le nez en rouge, voilà. Mais après, il est bien, ouais. Tu es tout puissant, et dis-moi, qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Bien sûr, est-ce que c'est un genre de superstar? Je crois que je suis une superstar. C'est le visage d'un alcoolique en phase terminale. Non, mais ça, il est bien. Tu vois, dans l'image principale, il est bien. Regarde en bas à gauche. C'est qui... En bas à gauche, c'est le truc. Devant, c'est bien. En bas à gauche, c'est pas mieux.
It appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why?
Je crois pas que c'est parce que je suis une superstar. Ce n'est pas ma foi, mon visage crémage de lui-même. Je ne sais pas ce qu'elle fait là. Allez, c'est tout.
Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself.
Ah non, pas. Oh non. Eh, je me suis niqué. Tu penses que mon perso, j'ai dit superstar? Ah, il continue quand même. Si, mais c'est. Quand même, il peut dire que.
Oh my
C'est d'arrêter.
God. You can't stop.
On peut pas
It's
m'arrêter.
like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey?
J'ai une superstar qu'une idée, c'est indescriptible. Je crois que c'est une expression censée être subjective. J'ai bien peur que ce soit destiné aux dames. Ça insinue que je suis vaguement sympathique et je crois que c'est crédible d'une façon un peu rincarde et triste. Mais c'est ce qui. Non, c'est ce qui fait mon charme. C'est une expression de douleur.
There might have been 10 years ago. It's little more than a cadaverous spasm now.
Tof. Encyclopédie terrifiant 13. Creusez au plus profond de votre esprit pour essayer de repérer la source de l'expression. Électrochimie, impossible d'essayer d'effacer l'expression de votre visage. Oh.
It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure of the revolution that, for a fleeting moment, free market economy seemed like the ultimate, uncontested way of life for our species. Things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the times, calling this the new style. But more importantly, disco happened. For Revachol, your city, that meant only one thing. Guillaume le Million. If it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right.
Guillaume le Million.
Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open-air boîte de nuit, somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression.
Alors je l'ai adopté pourquoi je ressens le besoin de faire un bruit de claquement en même temps clac clac clac. Qu'a eu lieu le renouveau, autre chose qui suis-je, pourquoi j'ai bu jusqu'à me crier les neurones, je crois que c'est tout.
You have some understanding of the near history of disco, the The rest is darkness, aside from the useless fact that the motor carriage outside was a caprice canema. Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only the grimace remains. Some 20-odd years. There is a vast ocean of time between right now and the expression. Looking good on you, or anyone. Humanity has run aground in that time. It's a different world now. The expression is a relic. The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume Le Million's regional mega hit, Don't Worry, Your Pretty Little Head.
Je crois que c'est tout, conclure.
It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return.
C'est un lancer blanc, il peut être retenté. Ah, pourquoi on va le retenter, on a quand même 3% de chance, les gars.
It's too late. Like an image on film. The expression belongs to your primary motor cortex. It would take a minor neurological miracle for you to cease producing it.
Ignorez le mur pour l'instant. Ça sert à quoi? Ça sert à quoi ça? Les mots vous manquent pour décrire à quel point l'odeur de son tendresse dans une bande un homme de lettres aura sans doute mieux. Ok, faut lire rapidement, ok.
You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants.
Plongez la main dans votre poche pour les récupérer.
It says whirling in rags on the aluminium key ring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. It should open the door. The Whirling in Rags is a hostel cafeteria on the urban coast, frequented by dock workers.
Miskin maintenant. Voilà. Truc bonus. Wow, frère, R2 pour ça fait ça. Sous-marin, menu de navigation. Mais ça fait peur, oui, ça. Tirer, ça fait ça. Ok. Encyclopédie de 6. Tu fais un niveau d'encyclopédie excessif, risque de vous noyer sur un flot d'informations qui se débouche sur une observation cruciale de temps en temps, comme surtout votre esprit de détail futif. Cela dit, avec un niveau encyclopédique lacunaire, vous ne pourrez compter que sur les indices que vous avez sous la main, sans la culture générale, les patiner dans la choucroute. Oh mon psych. Oh frère, c'est rien dans ça. C'est aucune volonté. Non. C'est bien pour l'autre. Attends. Tenez le cap et gardez votre morale au beau fixe. Il faut que j'améliore ça, c'est sûr. Posez à l'instinct et répétez tout éveillé. Identifiez-vous aux autres et sollicitez vos neurones miroirs. Autorité, imposez le respect et affirmez-vous. Vous faites qu'un avec le poste 41 et n'embrassez la culture de la plécaille. Esprit de corps. Non, d'accord. Ces décisions servent les hommes comme les femmes et mesurez-vous à tirer des ficelles. Ces décisions, ils vont pas mal en vrai. Logique, permet de votre force intellectuelle et d'écouter le monde environnement. Rhétorique, maîtriser l'art de la persuasion, prononcer des diatribes empreintes de rigueur intellectuelle. Art dramatique, garder un personnage monté et repérer les mensonges. Ah, c'est bien, on voit ça. Conceptualisation, soyez créatif et déceler l'art dans le monde qui vous entoure. Projection analytique, reconstituer la scène du crime et faites appel aux lois de la physique. Attendez, ça c'est nul. Non, ça. Encaissez les coups durs et accrochez-vous à la vie. Viande de base plus, ça c'est cool. Ça c'est plus que de base, ça. Voilà. De la transcender, ignorer la souffrance, ah oui, encaisser les coups sans bronzer. Instrument physique. Pendez vos muscles et profitez d'un corps sain. Ça peut être bien ça. Électrosémie. Rejoignez la stratosphère et naviguez dans un monde psychédélique. Ça, je crois, presque sûr que tu te drogues. Voilà, grâce à elle, vous supporterez mieux les effets indésirables des drogues que vous prendrez. Elle est également plus de facilité à gérer les expériences sensorielles. Oui, si vous ou que vous souhaitez comprendre une interaction sexuelle et du sexe, je crois pas. Impression, rester l'épaule de la nuit que vous ne faites qu'un avec la ville. Clair obscur, laisser parler votre corps et intimider les gens. Ça c'est bien ça. Coordination visio-tactile. Motricité. À vos marques prêtes, tirez. Perception. Fiez-vous à votre vue, à votre ouïe et à votre odorat pour ne laisser s'échapper aucun détail. Réactivité. Vous allez plus vite que la musique et rien ne vous atteint. Mise en scène. Personne ne vous va venir, mais vous savez épater la galerie. Bonus objet -1. Comment ça bonus objet -1? Affinité mécanique, interagissez avec les machines, forcez les serrures et videz les poches. Sans foi, gardez la tête haute et le visage impénétrable. -1. C'est -1 plus 1. Dégâts -1, c'est cool. Plus 1, plus 1, -1, plus 1. Mais c'est assez cool. Hein. Bonus objet constitué, bien sûr. J'ai pas trop d'autres chaussures par contre. Esprit de corps. Ah, ça donne un truc. Figurine à l'halogène. Ah, plus une. Non, plus 1 de constitution. Message à faire passer. Après, -1, suggestion une odeur peut s'endormir. -1 en mise en scène et plus 1 à électrosémie. Moule bite, moule cuisse. Vas-y, je débarque comme ça, frère. Là, j'ai plus de problème. Ça manque quand même la chaussure, frère. C'est quoi ça? Bonus interrogation temporaire. Bon, c'est la tête dans les nuages. Tu vois, de l'interrogation. 4. Dans le jeu. Dans le jeu, c'est clair, j'espère. Quand même pas 4 heures. Normalement. Okay, ça, c'est quoi ça? C'est les réflexions par. Oh, mais il y a tellement de réflexions. Oui, frère, c'est. Beaucoup. Problème. Oh non. Qui réveille mieux, avec ses crinières orange. Point d'expérience, point de taille. Ah, je pense au moment que. Je sais pas, débrouiller, comment je sais pas. Bien, le jeu te lance sur la. Rien à savoir. On va aller voir la vitre, hein. Tu te jettes pas, ok? L'appuie X, il va où?
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in.
Projection analytique, facile évaluer les dégâts. Plus 1, les lumières sont allumées. Et un lancer blanc, il peut être retenté.
The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside.
L'ai-je brisé de mes propres mains, les
A
examiner.
fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent.
Ce qui a fait ça
More
alors.
likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact.
Une seconde, qu'est-ce que j'ai fait? Ici, la taille de
It
l'impact.
is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy and larger than your fist. The single green shoe you found fits the
Voilà.
hole almost as well as your foot. It would have also been heavy enough if thrown with force. Congratulations. You smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you could still find the other one on the balcony outside. The door to it should be outside your room.
Peut-être que ce n'était pas moi, je devrais aller chercher ce genre, j'ai besoin. Non, j'en ai pas besoin, j'ai besoin de personne.
You mean someone else took your shoe off and smashed the window with it? This person also forced the drinks on you. The cool wind gushes in.
Peut-être trouver la
Your
chaussure.
toes curl up from the cold.
Avant, plus 5 d'expérience acquis. C'est ça, après. Ah, voilà, maintenant. Ah non, oui, c'est vrai, il n'y a rien. Désolé. Maintenant, c'est quoi, tac. Je. Pour une vie de prix. Je vais pas la vendre. Ah, ok. Oh. Iguane, il manque à centigrade, mauvaise condition côtière. Maza, 2 centigrades, chute de grêle.
Hello, officer.
Je suis l'agent. Je suis en police, c'est ça? Je t'ai indiqué que nous sommes en mars de l'année 51. Cette édition du week-end du journal satirique trompe le monde. Voilà, pareil. C'est
The
automatique.
young woman raises a cigarette to her lips.
Classe mise orange dans ce discours là.
Her eyes are brown and her face is speckled with birthmarks. She can't be more than 28. A silver jumpsuit falls off her like scale armor, sparkling. This is the sparkle of too many nights out on the city.
No.
Non, votre question l'a rendu pas. Fuck! Ah oui, je suis. Non, oui, je suis agent, oui, c'est ça. Je suis l'agent. Fuck! Non, comment.
Because you're a police officer,
Je
sir.
suis déjà en tirant sur ce cigarette. Je suis certain, vous te demandez comment que je suis. Non. Et comment que je suis de la police, vous avez intérêt à pas oublier. Putain, j'ai pas envie d'être salaud. Ah là non plus.
I am,
So-
yes. Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies all this time. You've been here for 3 days. On official police business, no less.
C'est quoi comment
Couldn't
faire?
say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
You have no doubt about the drinking. But do you strike yourself as a tight-lipped drunk? She must have heard something.
Je ne sais pas, peut-être pas où je suis, ou qui je suis, ou ce qu'une couperie kinema, ou le bruit que ça fait. Pourquoi est-ce que je me souviens pas d'être flic, ou de quoi ce soit d'autre. Oui, attends. Ah oui, attends. Miskin, frère, elle va te dégoûter. Qui serait assez dingue pour me permettre d'être un agent représentant la loi, suggestion. Avoir l'expression sur elle pour lui faire savoir que vous la désirez physiquement. Je vais partir maintenant. Attends. Attends. Miskin, frère. 3%. Bah, les couilles, papa. Elle va te dégoûter, frère. Prendre congé? Ah non, j'ai pas prendre congé.
She nods.
Je sais quand quelqu'un me raconte pas toute la vérité. Ce que je fais, c'est comme bon affaire.
There's a mercenary out back. He's been hanged. The body has been there for a week now. The locals probably got tired of it and called the cops. I didn't mean to overwhelm you with information. You seem a bit lost, officer. Could it be because of the drinking?
She hasn't had time to put her makeup on. This is her morning cigarette. She looks tired, her beauty waning faster than it ought to at her age.
Don't be so harsh on yourself. They let almost anyone be a police officer.
Eh, Miskin, t'imagines, je fais ça, frère, elle va. Je sais même pas comment commenter les trucs là. C'est quoi le truc? Suggestion. Attends, quoi? Comment ça j'ai une suggestion? Non. Non. Oh putain, parce que j'ai pas le temps. Sous le. Arborer l'expression sur elle pour lui faire savoir que vous la désirez physiquement. Non.
Of course. Be careful, officer. They don't like the police around here.
Okay.
Something stirs in you as she's about to go. Call it an instinct, a need. The need to ask questions. It's like you said the words a million times before. She looks back at you, a light glinting off her eyes.
Si j'arrive pas. Avant de partir, j'ai quelques questions à vous poser.
Yes.
Pourquoi ils ont après la police ici?
The dock workers are pretty cocky. They think they're police enough. At least here on the coast. I can't say about the rest of the city.
Ok, c'est quoi cet endroit où je suis? Où suis-je?
You're in a hostel, sir.
Non, où sommes-nous? Où dans le monde?
We are in Revachol.
Revachol is the disgraced former capital of the world, divided into zones of control under foreign occupation. Half a century after a failed world revolution, she is central to our moment in time.
Forever and ever.
And ever and ever.
Prison.
Out of the corner of your eye, you see the hair on the back of your hand standing on end. It feels as though low-grade lightning is coursing through you. You must be hypersensitive from the hangover.
It's 51. The current century? Centuries don't have numbers, they have names. And this is the current one.
Ok. Siècle contemporain.
Civilization has existed for 8,000 years, sir. You're right. There is nothing funny about civilization. There was the usual ruckus.
Votre
Loud disco music.
La mienne. Oui, voilà, dans quelque chose hier soir. J'ai eu de la
I
visite.
couldn't say. It's impossible to hear people speaking from over here. Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestration prime among them.
Oh, that. Yeah. Whoa. The less said about OO, the better.
OO were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course. Like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on.
Ouais, ça. La vie est juste. Non, la vie est juste, non. Ouais, ça.
I don't know about that. At around 2 o'clock, disco stopped, and there was a change of pace. A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of the time, you were yelling along to it.
Est-ce que je chantais ça, lui montrer la boîte vide de la plus petite église de San Juan? Qu'est-ce que je chantais?
That it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a winded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it. Don't be. I was going out later anyway. It didn't bother me. Then you started screaming and trashed the place.
J'avais plus de pipoter jamais, je ne me comporterai ainsi.
No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like someone was trashing their room. A window was smashed. The tape player, probably. The song stopped. And furniture, too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out.
S'il vous plaît, dis-moi qu'il n'avait rien d'autre.
There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then, around 4 or 5. And that was it. Glad to have been of assistance.
Fait qu'elle a laissé un grand mégot dans le cendrier, il est encore fumant. Ah, après j'ai cru qu'il y avait un truc avec elle.
The door is closed.
Il faut essayer de... Non, frapper. Non, mais il dit frapper, mais il va toquer ou frapper? C'est le truc.
There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on, somewhere inside.
Ah non, les couilles, je vais prendre. Miro va s'intégrer la couverture nuageuse partielle. Sans tenue, qui est en réel. Quelque chose sur la table.
The door is closed. Still no answer.
Après, elle va péter un plan.
Still nothing. Still nothing.
Je vais faire... Attends. Se dire. Ouais. Prends un peu ça, ouais.
The door is closed. This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside. This door can still nothing.
Okay. Au cas où d'un coup, il y a une connerie. Alors celui-là, il fait pas. Là, mais pas ce balcon. Il rafale d'ambiance salée, bruit calmeuse. 45 minutes, il m'est pas sorti du truc, frère. Tout prendre. Voilà, j'ai les deux, ça c'est bien. Oh! Non, c'est ce serveur en croco, plus 1 100 fois carrément percé, mise en scène, moins 1. Talent 10 fois trop haut. Un peu normal, hein.
There they both are, 2 identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, reunited on your feet, like 2 baby crocodiles. Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.
L'eau dans la mer, faut étudier.
The door is closed. Still nothing.
Okay. Ah, busca. Ah non. Tu vois. Ah non, aussi, hein. Note de musique. De toute façon, c'est le vide. Derrière est connecté à la radio, la musique est entrecoupée de parasites. Minute effacée, seul le mot lundi est encore lisible. Minute hier a été écrite par une femme, aujourd'hui l'écriture est celle d'un homme. C'est une fontaine d'eau, une grosse bulle remonte à la surface. Les 2 roues rondes d'une centrifuge pour le magazine, quelqu'un travaille. Ah, j'avais pas vu, hein. Bon vieux micro karaoké qui est en passement un senteur. C'est là où on met les paroles.
You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul.
Le contenu cubique de mon âme est occulté par la gueule de bois. Mon âme est excessive. Mon âme est modeste. Mon âme est de taille normale. Mon âme est immense.
And it needs to be
Elle
heard
doit être entendue.
through a PA system
Un système de
by other
sonorisation.
people.
Ça va de pair avec une théorie que je suis en train de développer. Je suis une superstar mensongeuse. Non, mes idées en train de rigoler, putain, maintenant ils pensent vraiment. Est-ce que je vais bien pouvoir chanter quand l'occasion se présentera?
You should sing the sad small church song from that tape you found. Thought it was obvious.
Mais oui, grâce à ça, ils pourront vraiment évaluer mon âme. Je sais que je pourrais peut-être sentir quelque chose de gay. Sur une chanson des ostentatus. Non. Ostentatus, orchestration. C'est l'autre, il faut même pas parler de O. C'est O de Ostrantius et l'autre O c'est orchestration.
Serves them right. Wipe that smirk off their face with your sad, tragic song. Who's laughing now? You would need another copy of the tape first, though. The one upstairs is destroyed. You should sing the sad small... No. Don't sing the happy song. It's stupid. Sing the sad song. You would need another copy of the tape first, though. The one upstairs is destroyed. Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes, sounds likely. You should probably go on stage and pose for a moment when you're done with this thought.
Tu ne penses pas? Non. Ah non, miskin. Vous vous sentez bien, votre place est bien ici. Là, monsieur.
A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. As you approach, he gives you a sideways glance, then looks down again. Everything is cool between you and this guy. He's a big fan. Make some small talk.
C'est vous le bar. Alors, regardez le oiseau de la
A
rampalière.
competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. One of its wings broken. The man is trying to mend it. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it, most likely on a wall. This is the great skua. The seabird is the symbol for the discovery of the Insulindian Isola, the part of the world you are in right now. The small steel tag says as much. The great skua. Stegoarius skua.
Je vais vous filer un coup de main.
Look, your buddy is over there.
Putain, votre ami est juste ici, il regarde en direction de la porte, près de laquelle un homme en blouson d'aviateur est occupé à taper du pied sur le
Why
sol.
don't you go and talk to him, okay?
C'est mon ami, je suis Félix, j'ai parlé. Comment ça, mon
He
ami?
pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead.
C'est vous, mon
No,
ami.
I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager.
He's very animated all of a sudden. This seems like a touchy subject.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not.
He's very animated all of a sudden. This seems like a touchy subject.
That period of my life is over. Not everyone who stands behind a counter is a bartender, okay? I'm the cafeteria manager. I have 3 cafeterias to manage. 3. Sylvie tends the bar here, not me. I'm only standing in. She just, you know.
His eyes dart from left to right. This man isn't lying, but he is hiding something.
So now you're a cop. Oh, forget it. No.
He's very animated all of a sudden.
I have 3 cafeterias to manage. She just...
His eyes dart from left to
C'est
right.
dans ce cas. Voyons. Tape le pied. Qui tape le pied? Non, j'ai parlé à elle.
Hello, sweetie.
Lena, la femme du cryptozoologue. Non, cryptozoologue. Zoologue, ouais. Plus en ambition.
You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
Elle indique du signe de tête, d'un signe de tête, et l'homme portant un blouson aviateur orange. Le pilote de Marvel est débranché. Sur un réflecteur réservé aux membres du syndicat d'ouverture à 16h. À l'intérieur, vous percevez des affaires du syndicat, une porte gréviste et des fanions rouges. La porte est brouillée, les cris sur la peinture cuisine réservée au personnel jusqu'à 13h. Plus rien, par la porte là-bas, et pour sortir.
The theme on that pinball machine is a standard royalist theme, used on everything from pinball cabinets to full flavor cigarettes. Clinging to a picture book version of the past century, waiting for the king to come back and cast out all the profiteers and homosexuals. Basically, imagine a yellow plastic crown with a liquor brand emblazoned on it.
Il n'est pas bien riche que je peux obtenir une couronne comme celle-ci.
The contemporary period stands still. The fated carousel of progress that doomed the royalists is itself winding down. Our time is decelerating into what? No one knows. A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. As you approach, he narrows his eyes and extends his hand in greeting. On the sleeve of his bomber jacket, as well as on its back, are the same enigmatic white rectangles as on your blazer.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he's waiting for your name.
c'est un lancé rouge, il ne veut pas être contenté. Enfin... Ah les rats, ils ont compris tout. Combien 27% de chance de perdre. 17%, oui. Pas 27, qu'est-ce que j'ai dit? Je voulais dire de oui.
Okay then. It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here?
What he means is, he has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise occupied.
Lui a désigné l'ancien de la tête, le patron du café, ouais, je viens tout juste de lui parler. Non, je ne lui ai pas encore parlé, il doit... Bon, une erreur, vous me prenez pour quelqu'un d'autre.
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right? It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews?
Non. Je crois pas.
Okay. We'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree?
Les cadavres, j'aime pas ça. Ouais, bon, voilà quoi, détromper complètement.
So, the body is still in the tree, where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner.
Si je vous disais que je suis pas vraiment agent de police, comment pouvez-vous être sûr que j'appartiens à la police, mais je me souviens de rien. On était censé faire quoi déjà? Allons-y, passer le truc.
I was sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the citizens' militia on your sleeve and on your back. I suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the black market or forged it. But for now, I'm going to set those possibilities aside. I'm not from the Inspectorate General.
Inspectorate General means internal affairs. What he's saying is, he's not from the rat squad and isn't supposed to suspect such things.
Yes, but I'm not them. I'm from criminal investigation.
Ouais, vous avez parlé d'ensigne, vous faites référence à ce rectangle blanc. Montrez votre
Yes.
Ce sont de simples
They're
rectangles.
not just white rectangles. They bear a halogen watermark with the letters RCM and a pattern resembling the street grid of Revachol West.
Il dispose un filigrane
I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage, but again, it's none of my concern. I just need you to do your job.
Est-ce que je devrais pas avoir une insigne ou un truc comme ça, vérifier vos
You mean
faces?
you don't have a badge?
Vous voulez dire que vous n'avez pas d'insigne? Je n'ai pas sur moi quand je me suis réveillé. Faire semblant de l'avoir trouvé. Moi, si je suis policier, j'ai mon insigne.
Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I would advise you to locate it as quickly as possible. But getting the body down should still take precedence.
Et si je vous disais que je ne suis pas vraiment agent de police, comment pouvez-vous être sûr que vous êtes parti à la police? Mais je ne suis rien de rien, on est censé faire quoi déjà? C'est parti mon kiki.
I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through worse. Much worse. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, the dead body should be our #1 concern. Talk to the manager. Then we go out back and take the body down. We all feel that way sometimes. There is no such thing as a police officer, I'm afraid. What remains is that there is a dead body in the tree. Someone has to figure out who put it there. If we don't, no one else will.
And then, soon after, dead bodies would be dangling from all the trees.
But first, we have to take it down. After you, officer.
Okay.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever by interacting with him.
À parté pédagogique, le lieutenant Kitsuragi a désormais rejoint votre équipe. Ok. Yo, Mr. Bean.
The man with the unimpressive beard notices you approaching. He drops the ledger he was holding and turns to the lieutenant.
Mr. Gart, right? You run this place.
Jette un œil à son galopin.
Yes.
Répond-il laconiquement.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41.
Il faut dire à les gens qui ne connaissent toujours pas votre nom, le héros de la le héros de la c'est différents noms en ce moment.
What?
Oublié. Le précieux, c'est moi.
Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body. It was you who placed the call, yes?
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only temporarily taking over her duties.
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
This sounds like something you can use to call this Sylvie later.
Okay.
You said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No. I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the many, many cafeterias I manage.
Okay.
But you still know your way around, yes? In case we need directions.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here. And I'm not going to start working here again, if that's what you think.
I didn't imply that. Detective.
He probably means this is where you step in and ask your questions. His face expresses profound doubt in your having this. Ask him about the body's location before asking if he killed him. People give up information in the more innocuous questions, which you can later use in the more sinister ones, not vice versa.
Ouais. Demandez-lui où se trouve le corps avant de lui demander s'il l'a tué. Les gens laissent échapper des informations à travers les questions les plus inoffensives qu'on peut ensuite utiliser contre eux, mais pas à l'inverse.
Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on a tree there.
Ils l'ont hissé à... non. Comment on dit?
That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one. You can get to the courtyard through there. No need for the keys. The hole is big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry to fit through.
This man means the heavy cavalry of the innocents Franco-Negro, sweeping over the plains and nations of the enemies of mankind, 5th century style. Unified currency and the concept of cool came in their wake. They wore lamella and carried guns. But first and foremost, Franco-Nigerian heavy cavalry was really, really wide. That hole in the fence must be enormous.
Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up. That's easy. See that door there?
This man means the heavy cavalry of the innocents.
Haven't you asked me that already? What is it with you and this woman? She has nothing to do with this.
Je veux demander où maintenant. Je veux savoir pourquoi elle est
Okay, you got me. She went away because of the dead body out back. And because I asked for her number, that's why Sylvie went away. I hope you appreciate that.
Thank you.
Cool. C'est parti mon sujet. Merci, lieutenant. Lieutenant, il ouvre la passe de garde de son calepin lumineux. Si je me rangeais dans une petite passe. Sérieux, c'est parti en sucette.
Is it? Because I thought you were supposed to be investigating the lynching, not my employer conduct.
Ça me tient à cœur, je suis un féministe. C'est que c'est le souci du détail, tu lis dans la vie, je sais rien, ça me démangeait, voilà, les raisons.
Good for you. Was there something else? I'd like to get back to what I was doing. Haven't you asked me that already? Okay, you got me.
Thank you.
I asked an employee out. She didn't want to come, but felt obliged to. It was a bad idea. Now, what is so goddamn fascinating about that for you? It's got nothing to do with the lynching. Good for you. Was there something else? I'd like to get... Haven't you... Okay, you...
Thank you.
Is it? Because I thought you were supposed to be investigating the lynching, not my employer conduct. Good for you. Haven't you asked me that? Okay, you got...
Thank you.
Is it? Because I thought you were supposed to be investigating... Forget it. I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. That's your job.
This is it. He said they hoisted him up on a tree. Who is this they, if he doesn't know?
Juste avant ça, vous avez dit, j'ai une autre question.
The lieutenant turns the page in the little notebook he's been scribbling.
I don't know who...
This is it. He said they hoisted him up on a tree. Who is this they, if he doesn't know?
Avant ça, vous avez dit qu'ils. Avant ici, ah non, c'est qui?
Oh, people are saying it was the union dock workers, that it was a lynching.
Ça m'a un peu surpris que vous reteniez ce détail. Qui dit ça exactement?
The locals, the customers, the people who eat here. A lot of dock workers eat here. Sylvie told me everyone knows the dock workers did it.
Did the debarders themselves tell her this, or is it a rumor?
I don't really know. You'll have to ask her.
Pour les docteurs vaudront lire.
I would suppose it's because they have nothing better to do.
You mean the strike?
Faites allusion à la grève?
Yes, the strike. The man they hanged was a security guard for the harbour company, I hear. A mercenary. The unionistas probably thought they'd send a message.
Ok. Est-ce que vous
What
l'avez
are
fait?
you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him. What are you, crazy?
The lieutenant turns the page in the...
Let's go.
Allons-y. Testimonier le garde... Non, garde le patron du café expérience avec
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real.
C'est quoi ce... Comment ça je te dois 130 réals? C'est quoi ça des réals? Putain, en plus, pour des trucs contre la maison, c'est... Je me laisse. C'est quoi ça des réals?
Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
R... Non, il prononce le R avec une arrogance aristocratique.
The IIR, or Inter-Isolary Real, is the global reserve currency. Whatever part of the world you're in right now, it's safe to assume he means you owe him some money.
Pareil, vous voulez parler du genre de réputation aux épisodes, vous voulez dire que je dois du fric.
Wow, you're a genius. Yes, that's right, money. You owe this establishment 130 real.
C'est le registre sur le comptoir. Qu'est-ce que je dois au juste? Mais c'est quoi exactement l'argent? Vous faites en état d'arrestation. Qu'est-ce que je dois au juste?
Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilated. The hole in the window was the first thing I saw when I came to work. So don't try to tell me you didn't. That will be 40 real in damages. Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually more, but We'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability and order of Revachol. That's 60 plus 40 plus 30 equals 130 real. And yes, real is still money. What are you, a philosopher?
Enfin, ça se pourrait bien. Puis mon réveil, j'ai du mal à me souvenir même des concepts de réalité les plus basiques. Non, je prends simplement mes repères.
Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room or 8 bottles of potent blend and 9 packs of Royal Extra. You use it for everything, really.
Intéressant, je récupère ça où que vous avez trouvé, c'est de l'argent. Continuez sans le montrer les pièces, ce sont les vôtres.
There's a shuffle of nylon as Lieutenant Kitsuragi looks for something in the pockets of his orange bomber.
What are you, a philosopher? Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room or... Are you serious? From your work? I don't know. You can take bribes, I guess. I'm sorry. I don't think cops can take bribes.
Some do take recompense, but only to survive.
For survival, to pay me. Unless you want to become a hobo. Do you want to become a hobo? There's nowhere else. There's a cold spring outside. Money doesn't make you happy, but it lets you be unhappy for a while longer. If you run out of money, you die. It's like that for all of us. Me too. That's why I need you to pay me. I'm not an asshole.
Il s'interroge et ajoute surtout pour lui-même, je ne suis pas intronique.
Yes, it is.
Compter les pièces et les données, c'est qui fait 10 plus 10 plus 20, 40 au total, je veux encore. Non, t'es exact.
There's a shuffle of nylon as Lieutenant Kitsuragi looks for something in the pockets of his orange bomber.
I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't let him stay here any longer if he doesn't. If he doesn't have the money by tonight, then...
Officer, maybe you are better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away.
Non, je pourrais créer ces dans le camp, c'est moi, je me souviens pas où. Moi, c'est moi. L'emmerde, ce tout petit, j'aurais tenté ma chance dans la rue, je ferais ce que je peux faire.
I'm sorry I couldn't help more. You should take this up with your station. I have a shortwave radio in my car, okay? We have to get this investigation started now.
J'ai une radio.
Good luck.
Paye les dégâts. Elle s'apprête à dire quelque chose, puis se ravise finalement, pas de sens.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it.
Est-ce que j'ai une adresse, moi qu'une idée?
But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere.
Fort, loin. Oh, à Marvel.
Why did you say that?
Mais sinon, je pète un câble, je l'ai dit comme ça. Doit sûrement avoir une signification pour moi. Imaginons bien sûr que vous connaissez un endroit appelé.
The old thesaurus comes up empty. Maybe you should ask the lieutenant.
No. But isn't that an expression, not a place?
C'est pas une expression, plutôt une
expression. A saying. Up on Marvel Hill, a great high place. One that is impossible to climb back to.
That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money.
De retrouver là. Est-ce que je pourrais essayer de retrouver où je vis? De retrouver la rue exacte, le numéro exact du bâtiment, je vivrai même d'une benne ordure, rien à battre, je m'en top en mode clandé.
You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time.
Réflexion
Maybe a street or an apartment will appear.
Dieu.
Can I help you?
Donc, l'argent que je vous dois, en fait, je vais me faire un carreau qui sert à prendre. espèce, je vais me faire interroger ici. C'est absolument hors de question. Bien sûr que si, c'est en question d'abord. On va un cœur déprimé, ensuite on fait pleuvoir les décibels. À propos de la voiture est prête, mesure. Art dramatique. Quelque chose devant l'une des gates, une chose dont il faut que je vous parle. Hein?
What thing?
Car qu'il les yeux, quelle chose, j'ai vu un panneau indiquant que le réfectoire était réservé aux syndicats. Car j'ai un panneau sans l'accès à la cuisine, pourquoi je peux pas y aller? Je vous demander autre chose.
Yes, not the whole damn union,
Et pas tout le syndicat, juste la France la plus bruyante et la plus déplorable. Il remue la tête avec des dents.
They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info.
Les voix adressent un signe de tête et le camp. Comment on peut les trouver?
We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll be here tomorrow.
Et regarde en direction du box.
There are these things called days. You sleep between them. He's saying they'll come after you've slept. Just making clear you got that.
Ah, merci la logique. Je vois pas indiquant là. Ok.
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business.
J'ai mon habitude de faire question. Je veux que la cuisine reste tellement cruciale pour notre enquête.
He wasn't pan-fried. He was lynched. What could the kitchen possibly have to do with... Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. You can snoop around after that, if you must. What are you, a cook now? You're not. You're a menace. Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the real cook is working. You can snoop around after that, if you must. What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business. And want me to make an exception for you? You're not even a hostel guest till you pay your outstanding bills. Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until what?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Carte, j'ai vu autre chose au whirling.
Another thing. Great. What are you, a cook now? No, you don't.
Après moi, je serai pas l'enfoiré, comment avez-vous su?
If you had a warrant, you'd be shoving it in my face right now. Besides, the RCM doesn't do search warrants. I know the law. You'll just have to wait for the kitchen to open. If you have to get in there, which you don't.
You do realize you can just go into the kitchen at 1300 hours. No need for superstar charm or Sambo-style antics here. Sambo is an acronym for Samoan boxing. Graceful martial arts stuff. Sambo style implies stealth, cleverness, and cool. Just letting you know.
Yes? Yes. Have you got it? Like what? I was really enjoying talking about the money you owe me. Yes, a lot. Yeah. A lot. For the room, drinks, and broken window, 100 a lot. Yes. Another thing. Great. Yes. Another thing. Yes, not...
We should find out who this Lord... We don't.
There are these things called days.
What are you, a cook now? No, you don't. Fuck her. Lay off the swear words. They don't make you cool. This isn't kindergarten. Besides, the RCM doesn't do search warrants. I know...
You do realize you can just go into the kitchen at 1300...
Yes?
J'ai tenté. La porte est fermée pour l'hiver. Du coup, je sors par où? Ça? Antoninaise au fond de cette brouette. Sur le poney écrit Nick la police. Vole pas, non? Non. Redressez-vous, sale poulet, le nom de la rue est invisible. Kensurugi Diaz.
The RCM in
Les
Martinez.
ordinaires.
What can I help you with?
La jeune femme lève les yeux vers vous. Vous avez l'air de poser quelques questions à vous poser.
We don't see a lot of police around here. That's all. Of course. What can I help you with?
C'est quoi cette histoire de nique la police qui est quoi exactement?
Excuse me?
Il a écrit nique la police ou pas, ne désigne pas, non.
Oh. Well, I didn't write it there. I'm just sitting here.
Il a le temps de rentrer si vous, cette poulet qui sont les poulets en question. Très bien, je voulais pas vous faire peur.
Okay. Excuse me? Oh. Well, I didn't write it there. I don't know anything about that either.
Pig is a widely used term for members of the police. It's not loving.
No need to worry. We are not saying you did.
Okay. Well, I didn't. Me? I am just a guy.
She hides it well, but behind the sweat and dirt there is something else in her rigid posture.
Et vous faites quoi pour essayer de vous rencontrer simplement?
I am working.
I
have a greenhouse in the yard there. I've been trying to get some work done. Well, as you probably know, there's a corpse hanging from a tree there. It smells pretty bad.
Don't worry, miss. We are here to clean it up. You can get to work soon.
Thank you. My head is about to explode from all the salts I've had to inhale.
Salts? Ammonium salts. Perhaps useful for later.
Me?
She hides it well, but behind the
I am pleased to meet you too, Officer. Me?
She hides it well, but behind the sweat and dirt there
is there?
The quickness of the reply certainly does not prove you wrong.
Oui, tu as fait de vous ici. Peut-être aussi la tête, ravi de vous raconter ça aujourd'hui.
I am pleased to meet you too, Officer. Me?
She hides it.
Is there?
The quickness of the reply certainly.
I am working. I have a greenhouse in the yard. Well, as you already know.
Don't worry, miss. We are here to.
Thank you.
Salts? Ammonium salt.
Since the street sign's messed up? Okay. What do you need?
Vu que les panneaux étaient organisés, elle haussa la tête. Attends. Je suis de retour. Le courrier. Oui,
it's there.
Exactement.
In the yard, right through the hole in the fence.
Even all the way over here, there's a drop of death in the spring air.
What do you mean?
Je suis un peu paumé. On est bien Rebasol, n'est-ce pas? Non, justement, je trouve d'accord.
Yes, sir. District of Martinez. This intersection is called Roundabout North.
He knows where we are. He just wants directions.
L'air disant que vos officiers rendent le lieutenant mal à l'aise.
There's the pier, the Capeside apartment buildings, some more tenements. Not a lot, really. The harbor gates, some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store, too. Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Some kind of accident, probably. Just coast. There's a little fishing village there and a fish market, but that got closed down ages ago. It's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. There are some islands in the bay, but they're hard to reach.
Ok, merci.
No problem.
Je vous en prie, Estelle, autant un peu de terre de sagesse.
She's very well composed.
Très calme,
Back straight.
Je vais filer prendre.
Of course. I won't hold you back.
If there's a corpse, then you're going to need those gloves for the autopsy.
Non, ça je peux, vous prenez-vous quand on sait pas du tout m'en s'y prendre.
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
Je vous tends les gants latex sont resignés. Merci pour les congés. Ils font quoi? Ils sont bien les gants. Voilà. Finité mécanique, la terreur des bestioles. T'es vraiment possible, frère. Oh, tellement de choses, frère, c'est pas possible.
This Postlavantorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front. A faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk number 8102, with a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant.
Oh putain, Kim, frère, il est pas.
The box seems happy. Eat shit, pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
Comme je te comprends, c'est un boîte aux lettres. C'est que ça, c'est un boîte aux lettres. Pas l'aventurier. C'est quand on sort un peu les taux de la fente, boîte aux lettres.
The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. So do you. You shudder. Then you swallow.
Tu sors de ce livre, vous voyez une rose, un pistolet et une femme à moitié dénudée. Sur la couverture, vous voyez un homme très musclé entouré de flammes. Ce livre parle de pâté. Je ne comprenais pas trop de quoi ce livre de quoi parle ce livre, mais ce n'a pas d'importance. Un livre sur la culture des roses, une cause de la liberté et l'anticonformisme. Un livre sur l'avenir, le gouvernement et notre esprit grâce à la technologie radiophonique. Ah, il y a pas mal de trucs, hein. Je ne vais pas parler à qui. Parle-moi de cette affaire.
What do you want to know?
Je demande tout et n'importe quoi, je me souviens de rien.
Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit.
Une jeune femme a expliqué qu'un mercenaire avait été porté et le patron pense que c'est le syndicat qui est responsable.
Then you are not that far behind, actually. Do you want me to brief you?
Oui, ça me revient.
3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Mais est-ce que le briefing parle de l'identité de la victime et pourquoi on ne sait rien sur la personne qui a
A security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
Attendez, c'est quoi la MCR? D'accord, oui, je comprends tout. Bon, répète, alors notre travail aussi à retrouver le tueur. Les hippies, toujours rien à votre sérieux.
That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city.
The RCM, or the Revachol Citizen Militia, is the police force you and him are part of. A self-organized peace corps of the occupied city of Revachol. The RCM operates within a legal twilight, yet its authority is rarely questioned. It's super useful to know this.
Il est vital, ok, attends. Ah là 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 là. Quand depuis autorisé la ville s'occupe de Revachol, la MCL repère dans les limites de la loi son autorité pourtant rarement contestée. Il est vital de savoir ça. Car oui, je comprends tout maintenant.
Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer. You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again? 3 days ago, during that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. Okay then. Was there anything else you wanted to know?
Est-ce qu'il s'agit d'une affaire mystérieuse?
It's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute.
Ouais, ça va être dans
sa mère to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
Je pensais que quelque chose de supranaturel. Le blanc d'une quarantaine d'années. De quoi d'autre avez-vous besoin? Personnellement, je trouve les conflits professionnels très mystérieux, très bien. L'affaire n'est probablement pas mystérieuse, mais peut-être qu'elle est sexy. Comme ça, c'est... Putain, il n'y a que les réponses à la
There was some interest in this case at my station, but not for the reasons you have in mind. You seem to wish there was...
C'est une famille peut-être impliquée. Voilà. Sûr qu'il n'a pas un côté sexuel à cette histoire, où on devrait prendre compte. Oh, je comprends.
Good point. Martinez is famed for its occult sex murder rites. We'll get on it immediately.
The weary tone is the surest indicator that the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
Ouais, ma tête, vraiment, c'est méga sexy. Pas besoin d'ajouter une secte des crimes sexuels, ça suffit simplement. Pas besoin d'ajouter un meurtre. Un scandale sexuel, ça suffit. Ah putain, mais je sais.
That's commendable. Was there anything else?
It can still be an otherworldly sex mystery in your head, with a dark twist even. He's basically challenging you to sex it up with some lurid twist. Don't get right into it. Sit on it a bit, then hit him with it.
Quoi? Il te défie de donner un piment à l'affaire avec un twist bien scavo.
No, it's not a particular...
The lieutenant adjusts his collar. It doesn't look like he wants the case to be more mysterious.
No, the deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean, then you are in luck, because we are in the midst of a major strike by the dock workers union. Maybe more than that. The union clearly wants a piece, not just of the industrial harbor, but the Wild Pines Corporation itself.
Is this a strike then? Or the first shots in a workers' coup?
I expect the case itself to be less challenging than navigating these community matters. This district isn't used to the RCM's presence, and the Union rarely overplays its hand, as it appears to have done in this case. Strike, coup, revolution, it's brigandage, however you parse it.
You feel something rising through you, a familiar feeling, an opinion taking form.
Une opinion prend forme. On devrait réduire les ouvriers embrouillés et les donner à manger au cochon. On devrait réduire les propriétaires embrouillés et les donner à manger au cochon. Je ne sais pas trop quel camp je réduirais embrouillé pour cochon. L'addition doit faire monter un peu plus dans mon cerveau, comme le nationalisme. Plutôt que réduire un camp ou l'autre embrouillé pour cochon, fasse avancer la smiblique, je suis très intelligent. J'ai passé les 20 dernières secondes à décider quel camp vous allez réduire embrouillé pour cochon. Pourquoi? C'est vrai. Ah putain. Il m'a eu.
When I said we have to navigate community matters, I did not mean we have any say in them. I meant we should be careful. If we are not, the shit will blow right in our faces.
From an imaginary fan.
Now, was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition. You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
Je viens pas d'être dans le coup, vous savez que je suis atteint d'un désir rétrograde.
Better still than an imbecilic cop-off. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim. Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? Good.
Légendaire. Reparlez-moi de l'affaire. Convaincu que cette affaire a un côté sexy et mystérieux. Oh, t'abuses là. Vous devriez savoir que je me souviens de rien. Mais je veux qu'on parle de vous. Je me suis... Alpha, il sait rien. C'est assuré.
Only banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person with a very small soul.
No, fuck.
Despair creeps into you, getting fat on your weakness. Whatever noble intentions you once had as a police officer, it's eating them all up now. You're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
Fuck! Oh shit, man. Oh, c'est là en arrière.
He watches you melt down stoically from behind the lenses of his glasses. Nothing you can say would make you feel any better now. Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. Another police officer resigned from the RCM following a nervous breakdown. He now lives under a bridge, drinking and occasionally throwing excrement at passers-by, shouting, "I never loved that woman." When asked to comment, former colleagues objected to the theory that his psychological disintegration was precipitated by his wife leaving him. It's because the Furrows lost that match, said Captain Ptolemy Price, once the man's superior officer. It's because he couldn't get a big gun from acquisitions, and anyway, police work really burns you out after a while, Satellite Officer Jean-Vic Mayer, the deranged former cop's partner, commented. Sergeant Mac Torson, another former colleague, did not propose any theories, merely saying, whatever happened to him wasn't about birds. He got fucked, that's all.
Quoi? Ah non. Tu te... Ah, attends. C'est... Ah. Attends. Il faut quelqu'un y met. C'est mieux pas ma deuxième sociale. Ça saoule. Purée. Der Fall d'embrasser des Regulars.
There they both are, like two baby crocodiles. Good, they're balanced.
Ils ont seulement deux. C'est quoi qui m'enlève? Là. Bien ça.
As you approach, he narrows on the sleeve of his bomb.
Hello.
You realize he's waiting for your name. Concentration makes you squint your eyes. Your name should be deep gold and orange, like a forest fire looming on the horizon, but mixed with the stench of liquor rising from your breath. You're 2 steps closer to it, but there are still many to go.
Okay, it looks like we had...
What he means is, he has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise occupied.
Then we should ask him. It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here, in full force. Right. And the interviews? At the 57th, we like to prepare an initial list of persons of interest, and then just skim the surface. Okay, we'll have time for that. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? So, where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking. I suppose you could be...
Inspectorate General means internal.
No need for derogatory terms. They're only doing their job. Yes, they're not just... I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage. But again, it's none of my concern. I just need you to do your job. You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification.
All right, come on now. If he...
We all feel that way.
And then...
But first, we have to take it down. Talk to the manager. I can see if you need some... We all...
And then...
But first, we have... After you.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now...
Hello, sweet.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin. But dear, you're not for me. I'm too old and too married. You must forgive me. I'm getting so scattered. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Whatever do you mean?
Je veux que vous ayez ma partenaire en fauteuil roulant comptant le crime sans libération le cours des cadavres mettant les tueurs sont ainsi je libère rien revisé aux paroles d'une chanson roulant ensemble.
Sequence killers? Oh my.
Là,
But I think you already have a partner, sweetie.
A partner who needs you to help him get a corpse down from a tree. I can assure you with absolute certainty.
Now, gentlemen, no need to squabble. I'll thank you, but perhaps another time. Yes, dear. I'm a paraplegic.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height, or a grenade explosion.
No, dear. I'm not quite that old, although I was injured in the line of duty. Nothing so glamorous, dear. Though when I was young, I dreamt of planting the revolution. I was a training and development manager at a rapidly expanding... You'd think it would be a safe job, but I had to be everywhere, and, well, once I happened to be... I was lucky. This was almost 20 years ago, and I was That's quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions. I know they're thinking about... Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad. Oh my. You know where we are, right? That's right. In a hostel called the Whirling in Rags, to be precise. The new. Much has changed. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
That's right, dear.
How splendid.
Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded.
Her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you there, but now she relaxes her shoulders.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
Oh, ouh. Attends. On vit sur une sorte de démocratie thèse. Une réponse que dit tout est prolétaire, mais mon petit homme me dit que c'est pas le cas. Nos dirigeants sont de forts guerriers qui traversent les plaines. Non. Mais c'est exécuter des calculs pour déterminer quelles sont les mœurs et l'huile. Notre gouvernement tout le monde travaille d'arrache-pied en se prenant pour un signe visionnaire. Les radios sont utilisées pour contrôler l'esprit des gens et altérer notre perception de la réalité. C'est nos véritables maîtres, les étrangers et les femmes. On vit sur un régime policier.
Actually, we are not. You could say that about almost any other nation, but not Revachol. Try one more time, officer. What mode of government? Nope, sadly not. Revachol is what's called a zone of control, under an alliance of foreign powers.
Meaning, buying is voting.
Oh dear. And you were doing so well. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
Pure.
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. It has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better. You were doing quite well up until the end, dear. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what would work. Someone more.
No. I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Of course. Then, I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? But
that's a good point. This doesn't look like Rich Central.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Oh, my. That's right. In a hostel. The new. Much has changed. Speaking of history, that's right.
Her relief is...
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government? Oh, sweetie. It's really not. There used to be people who thought that way. Other people who want... Revachol is a zone of control led by...
But they still have cops.
Oh dear, but we...
She's scared now.
Someone...
No.
Of course.
That's a good point. This doesn't...
Yes, officer. Oh my. That's right. The new. Much is... Speaking of history... That's right.
Her relief is...
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? Precisely, sweetie. Revachol is what's called a zone of control, led by an alliance of foreign powers. We have almost no government of our own, sad. It is quite disappointing, yes. A lot of people would like... Oh, dear. And you were doing... But we should stop for today.
She's scared now. She's...
Someone more...
No.
Of course.
That's a good point.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. You know where we are, right? That's right. And where is the Whirling in Rags cafeteria itself located? Yes, indeed. The new, much... Speaking of history, that's right.
Her relief.
I can... Precisely, sweetie. Oh, dear. But we should...
She's scared now.
Some...
No.
Of course.
That's a...
Yes, dear.
A paraplegic.
No, nothing so... I was a... You'd think it... I would... No, dear. Nothing so... I was a training... You'd think it... I was lucky. No problem. Of course, dear.
Ah, c'est bien.
You should totally sing karaoke here. Utterly through by other people. Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes, sounds likely. You should sing the sad small church song from that tape you found. Thought it was obvious. Serves them right. You would need another copy of the tape first, though. A man in his late...
Mr.
Yes?
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41...
Are you kidding me? It's you. It's obviously you.
See? Everyone agrees it's your color scheme. We're on the...
Is this what you get when you call the police now? We've been waiting for a week.
Sir, I understand your concern, but we are here to do a job. And for us to do it?
Yes, of course.
I know it took us a while to arrive.
No, I only just...
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
This sounds like something...
You said you just got?
What, of Martin?
But you still know your way around.
Yes,
I didn't imply that.
He probably means this is where you step in and ask his face. Ask him about the body's location.
Behind... That's easy.
This man...
Behind this building. That's easy.
This man means the heavy cavalry of the innocents Franco Negro, sweeping over...
She went...
Have they not been telling you you're a cop?
Okay, you got me. She went away because of the dead body.
Thank you.
Is it? Because I thought you were supposed to be invested. Good for you. She went...
Have they not been telling you?
Okay.
Thank you.
Is it? Because I thought you were supposed to... What? What are you, a chauvinist then?
He smiles until he realizes his comeback wasn't very good. Then he frowns again.
No, I'm not the bartender. That period of... I have 3 café... No, I'm not... I hope it is. I don't know...
This is it. He said they hoisted...
Oh, the locals?
Did the debate...
I don't really know. I would suppose...
You mean the strike?
Yes, the strike. What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him.
The lieutenant turns the page.
Let's go.
Not so fast, Mr. Feminist. You owe me 130 real.
As you blow this joint, behind you, a whiny voice shouts.
Real mature, man. Real mature.
Si je le reparle, ça arrive quoi?
Real mature, man. What exactly were you trying to accomplish? You do understand you still owe me money, right?
Damn, your feet thought we got away.
You know what? The stupid drinks you've had are on the house. You know why?
Yes.
Because I know you can't pay for them. Not because you ran away. Now, I still have to charge you for 3 nights and the broken window. That's 100 square. Not entirely cool. Used to... Now, what the hell did you want? I assume you wanted something to come back here. What thing? Yes.
We should find out who this Lord... We don't.
There are these things called...
What are you, a cook now? That... You're not. You're a man. What are you, a cook? No, you don't. If you had... Besides...
You do realize you can... Sambo is an acronym.
What are you, a cook now? That's not... He wasn't fine. Okay. What are you, a cook now? And one fine. Okay. Yes. They come...
We should find out who... We don't.
There are these things...
What are you? You're not... Yes, not the whole... They come here in the evening.
We should find out. We don't.
There are these things called...
What?
By the way, you should come back...
Another thing. Great. Yes.
Absolutely. In the... Your body is ready, sire.
Yes. Have you got it? Like what? I was... Yes. A lot. For the room and broken window. A lot. For the... Yes. Another thing. Great. Yes.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, but you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere. You don't really know, do you? A vague, blackened image doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. You can try. Run some addresses in your head. With
Couteau solitaire à la maison. Bonus d'intériorisation temporaire. Un de Lozic. Tu me le mignon. Je l'avais loupé celui-là. Docteur endormi, homme dehors, la tête sous la table et porté recouvert debout, une seule pète est faite sur l'arrière de sa chemise. Vous laissez voir le pain se retrouver dans le coffre.
A colorful piece of plastic is dangling from his carabiner. Makes your fingers itch. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine.
Ramasser les pilules, inspecter le mode placé sur son musculant, combinaison par le regard.
It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. A young, able-bodied man stares back at you from the photo. Santiago S. John. The man does not mind. You probably need them.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
Ah, cool.
Your fingers find their way into the shackle, flicking open its spring-loaded gate. The metal loop holds the plastic ID and a leather-bound pocketbook. The man emits a loud snore. Is he about to wake up? Doesn't look like it, but you never know. Better be quick. No, he's looking the other way, perhaps purposefully. You slip the plastic ID card out of the loop and pocket it. The man continues to snore. Just for the record, you look nothing like the man on the document. No, he's looking the other way. You find a black paper note with a woman's profile on it. Seems like this woman lived centuries ago. The note, yum yum, money. Think of all the things you can buy with this. The synapses in your brain fire with glee. No, he's looking. The sleeping dock worker has little to say about your actions.
Puis a été renversé, le dessus liquide entré sur le banc.
The worker is in a deep slumber.
Allez.
You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens. This man could probably sleep soundly in a ship's engine room. The worker is in a... That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? An hour would have been bad. 2 hours is mystical. You have truly wiped out all trace of yourself if you haven't thought about rum and lemonade yet. Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum and lemonade to yourself, boy. Or better yet, lick that stain off the counter. What happened, man? You used to be cool. Go get your boring normal person drink then. Get your drink on and you'll act together. The worker is... The worker is in a deep slumber. There is only one way to wake this bone idol from his slumber. Roar like a hurricane. Rip the buildings from the earth.
Vous le dans un autre et la loi c'est moi.
Why the yelling man?
Le trentenaire soulève doucement sa tête et vous êtes en regard pensif.
Looks like a sow descendant. A lot of sow dock workers around.
Pas juste savoir ce qui se passe, il m'est écrit. C'est question.
Really? You woke me up for that? Fine. What is it, officer?
Refait Déborah, dis-moi ce que vous savez sur Alpen, ça montrait sa salopette. Pourquoi vous dormez ici pendant que les autres font la crépure? Ah non, c'est long quand même.
That's the name of my employer. I work in logistics. How's it going? Haven't you noticed what's going on outside? Good. Then you understand the gist of it. We would all be better off without the employers and their employment. For one, I can get some goddamn shut-eye. Right to sleep, I say. Thank God, no.
Rêver de ténèbres son tableau où on sera transporté comme les capables dans le mesurer.
The worker stares at you, his eyes dry from sleep. A web of wrinkles covers his tanned forehead.
I don't know what you're talking about, kind sir, but when I'm out, then thank God, no.
The worker stares at you. His eyes...
I don't. Thank God, no.
The worker stares at you.
I don't know what you're talking about. Thank God, no. Brilliant. Nate got it. Majorette's got it. He's guarding the gate. Or just getting some sleep. We are the workers, the union. We know what we need. What's right for us. Okay, I guess there's also Everard. He's in charge of the union. He's smart, knows how to negotiate. He's got our back. We are okay. We are okay. I guess there's also... We are okay. I guess there's also Everard. He's in... Yeah, what about it? You know, people die here every day. Someone's found in a ditch, another one falls in a manhole. If someone has decided to die on top of a tree, then how is it my concern? I can tell you this. Trouble's ahead. You heard what I said. Draw your own conclusions. That's all I know.
The lieutenant gives you a little nod, then makes a note in his blue notebook.
Yeah, what about, you know, people die. If someone has decided, if you get lucky, I might even have... Yeah, what about, you know, if someone has decided, I can tell. You heard what I...
The lieutenant gives you a little nod, then makes a note.
Indeed. Help yourself to some... Wait. No. Oh, it's empty. Sorry about that, pal.
The dock worker doesn't answer. His head is already back down on the table.
Yes? What do you want to know? Maybe you can... Then you are not that far behind. 3 days ago, during that time, the victim had been stripped of his... A security guard. They didn't identify... There's a strong prejudice against... That's us.
The RCM, or the Revachol City...
Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's... You mean like a brief? 3 days ago, during that time, the victim had been stripped... Okay then. Was there anything else you wanted? No. It's not a particularly... The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't... There was some interest in this case at my station, but not for the reasons you... Good point.
The weary tone is the surest indicator that the lieutenant is being...
That's commendable.
It can still be an otherworldly sex mystery. He's basically challenging you to sex it up with some lurid twist. Don't get right into it.
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a... You don't know? I assumed you were... That's good. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on... Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about? You mean like a brief? There's no reason to wing anything. 3 days ago, during that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller, a security guard, they didn't identify. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's... That's right. No, it's not a particularly mysterious...
The lieutenant adjusts his collar.
No, the deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. Then you're in luck.
Is this a strike then?
I expect the case itself. Strike could...
You feel something rising through you. A familiar feeling. An opinion taking form.
When I said we have...
From an imaginary fact.
Now, was there any... No, the deceased is a security guard. I'm relieved that you agree. Anyhow, let's get back to the case. No, The deceased is a security guard for a There was some interest in this case at my station. But yes, it just so happens there's a beautiful blonde 19-year-old woman at the heart of this case. A rich one, in fact.
The weary tone is the surest indicator that the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
Actually, it does have to be murder. This is a murder investigation.
It can still be an other way. He's basically challenged.
No. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a lab. There was some interest in this case at my station, but not for the reasons you have in mind. Yes, it just...
The weary tone is the...
No, not really.
It can still be... He's basically...
No. The deceased is a security guard. Then you are in luck.
Is this a...
I expect the strike.
You feel something rising through you. A familiar feeling. And a...
Politics is habit.
From an imaginary...
Now, what you mean like a brief? During a security guard. They didn't identify. There's a strong prejudice against involved. That's right. No. It's... The deceased is a security guard for a corporation. There was some interest in... Excellent. Was there anything else? You mean like a brief? 3 days during that, a security guard. They didn't identify. There's a strong prejudice against... Okay, well, we are police officers. No. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. I can assure nothing like that will happen. Do you know why not? No, something isn't happening, because it's not part of reality.
The gesture resembles an orchestra conductor bringing the choir, so desperately mundane. You need to funk. There's something the lieutenant isn't seeing. The universe is too irrational, too morally complex. You should convince him.
You mean like a brief? 3 days ago, during that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. A security guard. They didn't identify. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as... Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our... No. It's not a particularly... The deceased is a security... I can assure nothing, because it's not part of...
The gesture resembles so desperately mundane. There's something the lieutenant...
No. The deceased is a I can assure nothing like that will happen. Good. Yes.
So desperate. There's something the lieutenant...
You mean like a... 3 days... A security guard at work. They didn't... There's a... Just to be clear. No. The deceased is a security guard. I can assure nothing like... No.
The just so there's something.
Ouais, je crois qu'il n'y a plus rien.
The deceased, Anyhow, let's get back to the case. No. The deceased is a security. Then you are in luck.
Is this a strike?
I expect strike.
You feel something rising through you.
When I said we have to navigate community map...
From an imaginary...
Now, what? No. It's... The deceased is a security. Then you are in...
Is this a...
I expect the strike.
You feel...
When I said we have...
From an...
Now... What? No. The deceased is a Then you are in...
Is this a...
I expect the strike. Coup.
You feel something rise.
When I said we have...
From an...
Now... No. The deceased is a Then you are in...
Is this a...
I expect the strike.
You feel something.
Politics.
From an...
Now... No. The deceased is a security guard. There was some interest in this case at my state. Excellent. Was good.
Mais voilà, c'était là depuis le début.
What do you want to know? Good. Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know? What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary.
What? Think? I do most of my work inside my notebook.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook, and we all have our different mediums. His is written.
That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother. It's a part of the world of...
Seoul? is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolari state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting. Some would even say,
you're barking at the wrong
a point of pride to him.
No.
The lieutenant nods.
That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome. What do you mean? I have no idea.
The lieutenant's conceptualization.
I can't say that it does.
The lieutenant produces his small blue note. We all have our different mediums.
That's because I'm half Seolite. It's a part of...
Seol is a protectionist, isolationist,
I can see your...
a point of pride to...
No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them. It's like you're locked down.
Something the matter, detective?
What's going on? It's like you're a puppet in his hands. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. It's like you're locked down.
Okay.
The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem...
Good. Let's change the subject.
No response. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs? Try work, the case at hand. It can work miracles. Not a fan. It's just the nature of lieutenancy.
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the Decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for 2 sergeants and 8 officers. That means the average lieutenant...
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation. Really? You look fine to me. This psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer.
Clearly, he prefers to think you're malingering. He cannot fathom that anyone could drink so much as to retroactively erase their entire life.
Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Was there anything else you wanted? Excuse me? You have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely collide.
A moment passes.
Yes?
Only banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person with a very small soul. Despair creeps into you. Getting fat on your weak. You're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
I don't dispute that you have been charged with protecting the people of a particular...
Nothing you can say would make...
Ah mais c'est vrai, ouais, j'avais le truc encyclopédie, mais pris en mode un boost.
Yes?
Only banal things strike.
Je vais réussir une fois. J'en suis sûr.
Yes?
C'est-à-dire je convainc Kim que cette affaire a un côté sexy mystérieux.
What if you did it? Yes, you killed him. And then, as part of the plan, you drowned out the memory. Forgetting was merely a matter of convenience. Very clever. Are you sure you would have the strength to take down a hardened mercenary? You're not in the best shape.
And what has led you to this conclusion? That is a common side effect of overindulgence. It will pass. Besides, I doubt you could have taken down a hardened mercenary single-handedly.
See? You're clearly not a man in your prime anymore.
Don't take it personally. It's just that security guards kept on by large corporations tend to be better trained and better. I find that highly unlikely. It's not unusual for detectives. Yes?
The theme on that pinball machine is us clinging to a picture book version of the past century, waiting for the king to come back and cast out all the profit. The sentiment is called
The RCM in Martinez. What? We don't see a lot of police around here. Of course. Of course. Oh.
Even all the way up.
What? Yes, sir.
He knows where we are. He just wants direct.
There.
It's there.
Even all the way up.
It's there.
Even all the way up.
Some just coast. It's just water. No problem. Me? I am just a gardener. I have a, well...
Don't worry.
Salts? Ammonium salts? Perhaps you...
Me? I am pleased to meet you too, of course.
If there's a corpse, then you're going to need those gloves for...
Sure. Hello again. Excuse me? Oh. Well, I don't know any...
Pig is a...
No need to worry.
Okay. Well...
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyamdal somewhere. Rows and rows of Hyamdala men blur your vision. You make out some titles, maybe 100. Man from Hyamdal and the sages at the end of the world, not even close. Man from Hyamdal in hell. Man from Hyamdal and the forest of slaves. Man from nothing of interest. Only silence and the cosmic background.
C'est rare.
The display rack is brimming with worn paper. The display rack is brimming.
Oh, blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do. What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hyamdalaman, the man from Hyamdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
The display rack is rows and rows of Hyamdala men, blurred, maybe 100, not even close. Man from Hyamdal in hell, nothing of interest.
De rat.
The display rack rows, maybe 100, not even close. Man from Hyamdal, a twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching. Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hyamdal in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading. Between the throne and the Hyamdala man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hyamdal and the Devil Woman. Especially those leering types who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini. There's also some sort of a snake lizard beast slithering around her abdomen, chest, shoulder region. It's symbolic of vice and sin. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hyamdal novels.
Ah non, mesquine.
The display rack is rows and rows, maybe 100, not even close. Man from Hyamdal, nothing of in. The display rack rows and maybe 100, not even close. Man from Hyamdal, a twinge at the back of your head, your hand between the throne, especially those. It's symbolic. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of men.
Oh, blood and violence. What does it matter? If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hyamdalaman, the man from Hyamdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
Ok. Attendez, j'ai savais un truc. Je reviens type dans 5 ou 10 minutes. Et peut-être après, j'arrête le live, alors voilà. Juste sauvegarder, je m'en peux plus si c'est sauvegardé. Voilà. Yo les gars, je suis de retour. Le magasin de sport était abandonné dans un coin sombre.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise. An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Books in a Board Game Section? Who wants to read books? There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real. That price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplement, so it makes sense.
Wonderful board games, sir. The Growlbritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
Mais regarder qui voudra faire des gosses avec moi.
Don't be so hard on yourself, sir. You just need to clean up a bit. And technically, friends are a bit like family.
Vous devez simplement prendre davantage soin de vous et techniquement les amis sont un peu comme la famille. Elle fait tourner son pronom.
For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real. Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though.
Voler, sérieusement. Les ressources, la seule d'ardoiseuse. Dieu.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name, be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture. Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Go, go, get back there. The books await you. Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. The shelves compel you, don't...
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post, doing her job like a proper girl? Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Why not? Was she not friendly enough? Were you not compelled to talk to her? Oh yes, okay, that makes sense. It's working then. Yes. Do browse our books, sir. You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening. Good, sir. What does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her as a fund. She's...
Such criminal behavior would not happen in more developed countries.
Those countries will realize they've raised a lazy and spoiled generation. Are we done with the jokes now?
Yes, we've had quite enough fun here. Right.
Le tenant tape du pied.
Mind your own business, sir. In our society...
Denial is the way she copes with criticism. The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then, she nudges her glasses.
Une étrange brochure avec un livre d'images hautes en couleur.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a... Browsing through all the books with all their names makes you... Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook. High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top... Next to Irv's life... Next to...
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce. I would say... The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power. A very influential historical figure, but surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things. Certainly, it's prudent for a person to...
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
L'innocence avec un grand livre.
Shelves full of biographies of fake.
A true cultural touchstone. Enjoy the read.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further.
The Greatest Innocence by João Paulo Salomão Lopes. Browsing through the various... Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. You ready? That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first Innocence? Oh yeah, this is what I was made for.
Sola Dolores.
A pop quiz is a short examination designed to test your knowledge without any prior warning or announcement. Thanks for nothing. Dolores Day. Dolores. Incorrect. Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism. Her colors are silver, white, and steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one. A strange sensation of loss. When she left the earth, the dust, and the ice. Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensations in yourself at the mention of Dolores Day. Who was the first Innocence? It wasn't Dolores Day. Incorrect. Sola was anointed during... Sola resigned after... Correct. Nothing much as the first. Question 2. Who? Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody. An innocence is the highest category of historical personage. I can do better. Okay, So commonly, an innocence does not enforce his or her power through military power. Great. Dolores. An innocence. Damn. Dolores. Incorrect again. While she originated many modern institutions, even though the words incorrect. Correct. Franco Negro at question 3. Got it under control. No problem. Solid on this one. Yes, there exists a group called the Founding Party, known as the... There seems to be a mix-up with the sources. At least it clearly wasn't Dolores Day. She wouldn't be false. She's beautiful. No, stop thinking it. I said it wasn't her. She was true. Correct. There have been a number of counter or for the most famous final stretch. I've got it. Honest. Of course, this is my thing. The reason I exist in this. Zero doubts. Incorrect. While Franco Negro built concrete... Oh yes, militarism and nationalism. Yes, obviously. Incorrect. He was a violent bastard. Correct. The mess, everything from congratulations on finishing the test. An F for failure. Ha ha ha. You would have done better if you'd just left Dolores Day for the end. Dial the Dolores Day down a bit.
What's going on with you?
Okay. You are shouting at an inanimate object. Browsing through the book. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh, probably for the best. Browsing through your education. It seems rather... Oh yeah. This is what I was made for. Incorrect. Sola resigned after an assassination in her colors. Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one. Yes, the quiz is impersonal. Correct. Nothing much is known about him. As the first question too easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. Correct. Franco Negro question got it under control. No problem. Correct. The most final stretch. I've got it. Honest. Correct. Everything. Congratulate an A. All correct. Impressive. You really navigated some treacherous waters here. Well done. The lieutenant is doing his best. Yeah, sure. Browsing through your educational survey, it seems... Oh yeah. This is what I was... Correct. Nothing as the first innocence. Question easy. Everybody knows that. Correct. Franco Net question got it under control. Correct. The most final stretch. I've got it. On correct. Everything. Congratulate an A. You really navigated some... But endless try.
C'est quoi exactement? C'est l'expert. Que l'expert.
Several maps have been attached. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catch the north coast of to the east, rolling hill Hudon. You feel you're just west of Coal City, somewhere above Jamrock and close to Coal City. It's not really a map. It's detailed. This ozone disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you. The ocean breaks apart connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You have little idea what they are. Distant, perhaps they are gods. Gods of...
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
Attendez.
That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location from when some
The place does not look like a successful tourist trap.
They didn't get that far. for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up.
You peek at the storekeeper, waiting for her to be distracted. You're now the proud owner of a map of Martinez, which, to be...
I'm sorry, they're quite valuable. Yes, are you interested or not?
This lot are disintegrated in the north you can. 800, the ocean connections that you have little, perhaps they are. This bookstore is not strictly about crime. Amidst these three things are very important to the working class. The point of the book, and many, it serves platted wholeness when it's up to your mind to heal. The book featured, there's even a chapter on the ancient Serais. Amidst the point of the book, various paranatural...
I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Rien d'intéressant, hein. Note librement qu'il y a quelqu'un s'en débarrasser ici. C'est un livre intitulé Amazé Fasciste, voilà un titre qui fait rêver. Donc.
These shelves are over. A couple of spook novels hide amidst...
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate. You're a police officer, apparently. Oh, crime, robberies, you're a...
Crime fiction. These books, what's not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, you see Dick Mullen on the job. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. Oh no, turns out he fated to solve a case. Yes, tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Your attempt to grasp at the answer fails. It seems very close by, pulsating just out of reach. Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart. The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of mud. Your finger moves through the... Finally.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the map tab.
Your finger...
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the map tab.
Non. Église que 22 personnes seules, prendre de Martinez et miroir. Où on est, j'en ai aucune idée. Ah, ça. Là. Et voilà, on termine ici l'épisode. Abonnez-vous, commentez, partagez. Et activez la cloche de notification. Si vous voulez les abonner 3 heures sur ça. 3 heures, c'est pas possible. En plus, je suis... Parce que moi, je fais toutes les possibilités, alors voilà, 3 heures, c'est ça. Et ça, hein. Abonnez-vous. Passez une bonne semaine.